Hello everyone, Black Witch Diary here, Luciferian Witch of the Left Hand Path and Occult Educator. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome to those new here. So on this channel I talk about all things occult related, mainly demonology as that is my area of expertise, but amongst other things too. So if that sounds good to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday, usually, emphasis on usually. I haven't done a great job of that recently, but you know, that is the aim, to upload twice a week, so I try to be as regular with that as I can. An awful lot has been going on recently, so I've been a little bit distracted, but yeah, planning on getting back into the usual routine of things. So today's video, what to expect when working with demons. We have a demonology video today, but before I go into that, a few announcements. Demons, what are they? Evil entities that fell from heaven to serve the devil, to tempt mankind into sin and depravity. Ancient gods and goddesses who were degraded into lower forms by Abrahamic religion in their attempt to sow fear so that they could maintain control. Or psychological concepts of the mind that reside in our shadows. Perhaps a combination of all three, or none of them. We don't really know what demons are, beyond an educated guess at least. But what we do know is what they can do. Whether it's through higher magic or lower magic, demons will empower us to make changes and alchemize parts of ourselves and give us access to their gnosis. From this we can lead a life that we can take pride in and also leave behind a legacy. In order to access these beings to this level, it takes a degree of training and skill. Training of the mind and the self, of one's psychic abilities such as clairvoyance and telepathy, and also overcoming our limitations and unhelpful beliefs. Through this hard work, we can open ourselves to the infernal current. This is the world I want to show you. I want to take you through a 6-month intensive process to show you the power that you have that you did not know that you possessed. As long as you show dedication and commitment, not only will you be fully equipped in your practice of demonology and lead an effective and powerful practice, but also feel completely renewed within yourself and empowered like never before. If you're not willing to show commitment and dedication and work hard, then this program is not for you. But if you are, consider booking in your free discovery call with me at blackmagicdiary.com to find out more about Initiation INFERNALE and whether it's the program for you. The power and strength that you seek is waiting for you. So Initiation INFERNALE is beginning on the 15th of March and early registration closes on the 28th of February. You can still register after the 28th of February. Registration will remain open up until the 14th of March, but you won't be able to claim the early registration discount on the program. So if you are interested in Initiation INFERNALE, book in your free discovery call with me to find out more information and whether this program is right for you. So in other news, I am doing a clearance sale at the moment, and people have kind of been like, why are you doing a clearance sale? What's happening? Because usually people do clearance sales if they're like closing or something like that. No, I'm not going anywhere. I am moving country though, so I have stock that needs to go. So I'm just gonna show you a couple of examples of what's in the clearance sale at the moment. So we have the Lucifer candle. So this is a 7-day candle. The glasses like this are typically 7 days, but can be a little bit less, so don't come for me if they last less than that. We have the Love Spell candle as well. Sorry, I don't think that the lighting is really doing it justice. I have Astaroth candle. Let me try. There we go, there's the Astaroth candle. And I also have a Lilith candle. So these are just examples. This isn't everything in the clearance, but I just wanted to show you some of what is on offer at the moment. There's also oils and other candles in the clearance sale as well, so if you would like a generous discount on the typical price of these products, head over to my website blackmagicdiary.com and browse what is currently in clearance. So another thing we've got is the next group ritual. This is going to be with Larage. So that is going to be for shadow work, healing, what was the other one, alchemy and things like that. So also reconciliation as well. So quite a kind of versatile ritual we're going to be doing with Larage, and that is taking place on Friday the 7th of March. I hold my group rituals live on Instagram Live so that you can see what I'm doing. Obviously you have to book for your petition to be included, but that is happening next week. So into today's video topic, what to expect when working with demons. The reason I wanted to cover this topic is because I even feel like I still have expectations that perhaps aren't not necessarily realistic, but just things that I haven't even thought of when it comes to working with demons. So I think that you, as magicians that work with demons, I think that there can be this misunderstanding when it comes to the separation between our practice and real sort of like mundane life, right? And we kind of assume that because it's within our practice that we are working with and communicating and connecting to these infernal entities, that they are kind of segregated to that practice and not involved in our daily mundane lives, when it is actually in our daily mundane lives that they can make the most change. So things will happen in, you know, the mundane side of things, and we're like, where the fuck did that come from? And it's because of the work that we've been doing in our practice. And when I say, like, you know, how the fuck did that happen, that could be a good thing or a bad thing that happens, you know, good or bad. So yeah, I think there's this kind of misunderstanding that the demons are you know, exclusively within our practice, and you know, they're not there in, like, you know, our everyday lives kind of thing. And obviously this isn't true. So I suppose, to sum up that point, expect things to happen and expect the unexpected to happen, because they have a way of humbling you and kind of making you fall on your ass and seeing how you're going to pick yourself back up again. So, you know, you can have things thrown in your direction that you weren't expecting, which can be like a test of character, a test of strength, and to teach you something. Another sort of misunderstanding, I think, when it comes to working with demons is that you are going to get what you ask for. And sure, you can, but it doesn't always work like that. And you can receive what you've asked for in very strange ways. So I think when it comes to asking demons for healing, this is a big deal, because I think people, when they think of healing, they think of ease and comfort. They want release from their pain. They want relief from that pain. And of course that is kind of under the umbrella of healing to some degree, and there are things you can do to kind of alleviate pain, whether that's like physical or emotional or whatever. You know, things like Reiki, for example, one might feel immediately better afterwards, or acupuncture, or even therapy. But that's not how it works when working with demons, and at least not in my experience. Sure, they might be able to bring you some ease and comfort, but usually they are going about this like, what's the most productive way of achieving this outcome? Because healing isn't about putting a plaster on something. Healing is about digging deeper and doing your shadow work. Therefore, things are going to come up that are going to trigger you and force you to look at yourself. Things that you are ashamed of, things that you have repressed, trauma that you have repressed or forgotten about, that is all going to come to the surface. And there's been times for me where it's hit me like a fucking train, and I've been like, I don't even know why this has come up or where it's come from. And then I remember that I asked 2 weeks before for a demon to help me out with my healing and literally bring out what, you know, what I'm repressing. So that's another thing as well. The results can come about in really harsh ways. So you have to kind of be careful what you ask for. Not that things coming out in harsh ways is bad. I know for me, I know that I grow the most through pain, and I know that I can almost be a little bit masochistic in that sense, and I don't mind kind of getting really sort of like deep into it kind of thing, most of the time anyway. Sometimes I'm just like, you know, I just really can't do this right now, but most of the time I'm pretty willing to kind of like dig into myself and really take a look at things. But you know, some people aren't. Some people find that a lot harder. So yeah, you've got to be careful in that sense, because the last thing you want to do is have something happen and it triggers like a whole like mental breakdown. So yeah, be careful what you ask for. Also in terms of like money as well, you know, you can ask for money and not really specify where you want this money to come from, and a relative might die but leave you like a hefty inheritance, or you may suddenly be overloaded with work and then get really stressed and burnt out, but hey, at least you've got money. So that's a whole other thing as well. I've also had clients that have asked me to do love spells on their behalf, and I have done them, and then they decide that the relationship, it just isn't for them, and they want out, and then the person won't leave them alone because they've become obsessed with them. So yeah, it's really a case of like it's kind of human nature, you know. We always seem to think we know what we want, but we really don't. Most of us don't really know what we really want, at least on a true level. We think we want certain things, but that actually means something else. So it's really about uncovering your true will and the singularity of your will. So it's kind of like, you know, you can say that you want money, but really you want what that money brings you. Do you want time? So you really kind of have to decipher that in order to know how to sort of properly ask for something, if that makes sense. Another thing when it comes to working with demons, you can't expect them to be with you all the time. I know I said in my first point that, you know, we seem to think that there's like this separation between our practice and then like our everyday lives. Yeah, of course, demons are working in our everyday lives when we are consistently working with them, but if we stop consistently working with them, then we can't expect them to be there all the time with us. Like if I take a break for like 2 or 3 weeks, if I'm like unwell, in, you know, whether it's like a physical illness, or, you know, I'm having a hard time like with my mental health and I need to take a break, I will feel the distance when I return back to my practice. I will feel that it's not necessarily harder for me to connect. I can still connect, but it feels like the demon has taken a step back. So you kind of need to not make it all about you, in a sense of like, you know, you would probably approach that situation and be like, oh my god, have I done something wrong? Have I pissed you off? And it's just like, no, I like the demon's like, no, I've just got fucking better things to do. Like, you know, you haven't been around, so neither have I. So yeah, you've kind of got to not assume that you are always entitled to their energy. Like, they are not for just solely you. They are not for solely just anyone. They're not for anyone. They are autonomous beings. So therefore, it's, you know, it's got nothing to do with you. I think people also expect demons to love them, and I've gone into this before and people really weren't happy about it, that I said demons don't love you. Like, people were really fucking mad about that. I'm sorry, but if you have this thing where, you know, Lucifer's your daddy and Lilith is your mummy, like, you need to work out your parental issues there, your mummy and daddy issues. I get it, right? I get it that naturally, like, for example, as children, our parents are godlike figures. They are perfect to us. For, like, when we're really, really young, right? Because we depend on them to be alive. Our caregivers are godlike figures because we depend on them to be alive. It doesn't translate into a spiritual practice when it comes to demonology. I'm not saying all spiritual practices, demonology specifically, because you need to understand that these beings are very indifferent to humanity. So if you look at it from both ends of the spectrum, where you've got people in demonology that think demons are like, you know, their family, their parents, or even their lovers, like God spousing and all of that shit. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got Christians thinking that demons are here to serve the devil and to tempt mankind into sin and to basically, like, lead everybody down to hell, right? Neither of those are fucking true. Like, they're both such extreme things, right? Because both of those concepts completely go against that demons are indifferent to humans. So basically, I guess what I'm saying is that don't expect to get love, validation, etc. from demons. Don't expect the demon to big you up and tell you how great you are. Your own validation, your own self-esteem, that needs to come from you. So yeah, don't be leaning on demons to, you know, do that work for you, you know. Don't expect demons to do any work for you that you can do for yourself. Sure, you can ask them to help you kind of realize what you need to do, guide you towards certain actions, but at the end of the day, you are the one doing those actions. I think some also expect some level of, like, loyalty from demons as well, especially if you're in something like a witch war where, you know, like, two practitioners or more than that, like, get into like an argument or a fight or something, and you know, one, like, works very heavily with a certain spirit and the other one also works with that spirit, and they're like, kind of like, oh, but I'm more loyal to this spirit than the other. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. So yeah, don't expect loyalty. Just stop seeing yourself as something special. You're a magician and they're a demon. Like, it's not any more complicated than that you are both very autonomous from each other. I think another thing that people expect from demonology is that they need to make ridiculous amounts of offerings and blood offerings and things like that. You don't. Yeah, like, they're a good idea, and of course if you are asked to, then that's probably something you should do, but you don't need to be going crazy with it, if that makes sense. Your best offering is your time, and also carrying their message by living their message. Your offering is living by what they have guided you to do. That doesn't mean you shouldn't make offerings. It just means don't get, like, fucking stressed out about it. Like, do they like apples or oranges? Like, they don't fucking care, okay? You know, it's not a big deal. And also, you can end up relying on blood offerings. Like, you can end up into this kind of idea that, like, if I don't put this blood offering on the sigil, the demon won't come. Not true. So personally, for me, I only make blood offerings when the ritual is very significant to me. I don't do blood offerings when I'm doing client work anymore. unless it's something really kind of significant and requires one. But most of the time I am saving my blood for, you know, the kind of special shit. And also, don't expect to get things perfect. Demons don't want perfection from you. They want you to be on a continuous journey of striving for excellence, not perfection. So don't put pressure on yourself in the sense of like, you know, I need to get this perfect and I can't fuck up at all. You are gonna fuck up, and you know, whether you like it or not. So I feel like I've more gone into what not to expect, or don't expect this, instead of the actual expectations. So I'm just gonna sum up like what to actually expect. Like, expect your life to change, expect things to shift in ways that sometimes you don't want them to, but is for your spiritual benefit. You always see it in hindsight. You know, hindsight's 20/20 and all of that. Expect to be humbled, expect to be told that you're wrong. Yeah, you know, it can be abrasive and a bit savage at times. It's not for the faint of heart. It's for those who aren't afraid to metaphorically have the shit kicked out of them a little bit. So yeah, it's what you need to be prepared for. So I'm gonna leave this video here now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Give it a like and leave a comment if you did, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.